All right. Another week, another Centre Circle podcast. I'm here with Keith. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. All right.
The Liverpool result does its job again. And joining us this week, special guest, fellow Liverpool supporter, Ravi. How you doing?
I am also doing all right.
I love
Deflated.
it. I love it. Thanks for joining us, bro. Well overdue. Ravi's been a supporter from day one, so glad to have you on.
I have. Thank you for the call up.
No worries, bro. It's always sweet talking to Liverpool fans after they lose, isn't it? So, let's get straight to it. Bournemouth 3, Liverpool 2. There's been lots of talk about Slot's position, should he be fired or not, etc. This is your first loss in 5. I know you've been unbeaten in 10, 11? But 13. Not that it mattered much last night. But is it unnecessary panic? Is it? Come on, United Nations. That's why I call you United Nations. Give us your balanced view.
No,
I think I know what you're gonna say. But
if you take it in its totality, since we've won the league back in April, I believe it was. If you look at all our results and everyone's across the league, we'd be 13th in the league, which for a club of Liverpool stature isn't good enough. And as defending champions, certainly not good enough. We had a really bad run. Slot has managed to stem the flow of bad runs and bad results, but the performances haven't been there. So even though we're winning the odd game, because the run is majority draws, we've drawn our last 4 league games, the performances haven't been there. And I understand that's the gripe of most Liverpool fans who are Slot out.
Especially after winning the league. People think winning the league should buy him time, but actually I think sometimes it has the opposite effect. People feel like, no, whereas league winners, this is not what it should be. This is not how we should be living.
And the expectations are higher. So if he was sacked, I would fully understand it.
Yeah.
But for me, I would give it till the summer, have an assessment. I believe we'll qualify for the Champions League, get to the summer, Slot, Hughes, Edwards, sit down and thrash out what we're going to do going forward.
I wouldn't be so understandable if he was sacked. For starters, the 13-game unbeaten run, underwhelming.
Yep, I agree.
And I'm not as confident as Keith is that we will qualify for the Champions League.
I was just about to say, I'm looking at the table, and everybody above you in the table, they're doing their thing, man. And there's only 15 games to go. You know, obviously Arsenal, City are doing what they're doing. Villa, I know Emery likes to choke, but you know they're doing their thing. Even with a couple of draws and a couple of losses, they've won again this weekend. And then Chelsea again, finding a bit of steam. I know you feel like the coefficient is in your favour, but I agree with you. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. People are stepping up.
Top 4 not guaranteed. Top 5 also not guaranteed for us. So I'm watching Champions League football, hoping like Spurs win. It's like what's happened, right? Because of the coefficient situation. So, the connectivity at the top of the pitch is improved. There's a lack of a killer instinct. Players that should be taking the shot and going for goal are passing when ordinarily they wouldn't do that. Do
you think there's a lack of confidence there in the team? You know, we see this happen over time.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes have happened. Players are trying to find where they fit. Passes that ordinarily happen to a player's strengths aren't necessarily happening the way they were happening before. Everybody's trying to adjust. There's a big adjustment. There's obviously the Diogo Jota situation. We don't know how that's impacting people and all of that. So, let's, at this point, I just want to get out of the season, qualify for Champions League, maybe make a run in the Champions League. Stranger things have happened. I mean, we could win it.
So there's no argument for the club saying, look, it's enough, right? We want to build from a position of strength. We don't want to just scrape Champions League. You've been poor all season. as much as your director of football hasn't helped you, he didn't get you a centre back, etc. You should still be doing better. There's no argument for Slot to kind of be relieved of his duties at this point.
Yeah, there is an argument to say, right, thank you, it's been good, but let's part our ways. But Rabbi mentioned off mic before we started recording that the managers available in the summer are quite vast, so it might be in your benefit to wait until the summer. I know Alonso's available now,
but Enrique,
I don't think Alonso takes this job so soon after leaving Real Madrid, even though it is Liverpool and Liverpool don't come knocking often. I think he'll want until the summer to kind of assess his options. And they say, speaking of the board, they've got their part to play in this situation that we're in now in terms of the squad build. What Liverpool done in the summer was replace and not build or add.
Yeah, you said last week, yeah.
And a lot of people haven't taken that into account just because of the sheer amount of money Liverpool spent in the summer. But bar Leone, who was seen as a one for the future, every other signing was a replacement of someone who left the club.
Yeah.
So the board have to take it into consideration, their part that they've played this. And yeah, if Liverpool don't qualify for the Champions League via the league, then he's got to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always going to think of how much worse can it get, but it can. That's bull. No, it can. We've seen it, right? That's bull. So honestly, I think my view on this with managers. Yeah, honestly, I think you make a change now, or you ride it with him to the end of the season. What I think is the worst place to be is if things don't get better, you get to the end of Feb, and you're trying to make a change. Then it's silly because actually, all the signs that things are trending in the wrong direction are there now. They're there today.
Yeah.
But credit, rightly so, buys you some time. And as you say, it's not all his fault. And the director of football's not getting fired anytime soon either, is he? So yeah, fair enough. Well, let's talk about the team that did win the game, right? Bournemouth, despite, I don't know, the narrative and feeling around them, I looked at the table, I didn't realise that, before this, they were kind of fighting it out with Palace and Tottenham and Leeds and that kind of 13 to 15, 16 zone. So yeah, they've bought themselves some time. They're 10 places above the relegation zone now. But yeah, I think a really good win for them. And the thing for me is, when a team like Liverpool is away and they kind of come back into the game, right? So the team at Bournemouth, if it goes ahead 2-0, everyone's like, yeah, but this team will come back. They didn't shut up shop. They didn't sit deep. They didn't invite pressure. They still attacked. And even before that 95th minute goal, Evan Nielsen had a chance that he's just rolled past the person. I don't know what he was doing. And there was another chance. They had two good chances to score before that finish. So, Bournemouth, I think, were good for the win in the respect of they didn't just shut up shop. They kept going and they felt that they could, they could do something. So yeah, I think important win for them. And they had to show that there's life after Semenyo.
Not just Semenyo. Like, if you take away the recency bias, their squad, actually, correction, their first team has been decimated. Like, in the last year. Do you know, like, what's the fella that went to Madrid?
Howson.
Centre back.
Well, they lost They lost Kepa, Kirkez, Howson. The other centre back is
the one that went to
PSG.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now Semenyo's gone.
Yeah, but to be fair, I guess the reason why they mentioned those is we've seen 21 games without those guys. And Semenyo seemed to be almost softening the blow, almost.
But
so to take away that lost.
He was part of the team when they went on their run without winning the game in 10 games. So
goes both ways.
Yeah.
No, it goes both ways. So yeah, good win. Pressure's on. Liverpool. You don't want it to be the worst, almost the worst defense.
It can't be that.
since that. And as we're recording, my own team is doing nonsense. It is now 2-1 to Manchester United away at Arsenal. And Mbeumo with a goal in 37 minutes. Dorgu with the second. He's been playing well,
Yeah.
Dorgu, on stuff. And Arsenal's goal was a Martinez own goal.
Do you think they'll do a Luton? Be the first team since Luton to score 3 goals against you lot?
It won't surprise me the way we've been playing. It won't surprise me, but there's still some time to go. 50th minute, we'll be all right. speaking of managers under pressure, Thomas Frank drew 2-2 away at Burnley. Needed his centre backs to save him with the goals. Second and third top scorers, Van der Ven and Romero. Again, he's another one. He's called for calm heads this weekend, essentially asking people to relax and, you know.
Do you think he was talking to the board so they don't sack him?
He's talking to Romero.
I think he's talking to a few people. He's talking to a few people, but he can't be going away to clubs like Burnley, with all due respect to Burnley, and scraping a draw and needing a 90th minute equaliser.
Well, Burnley are on the bounce after getting a good point at Anfield last week, so they're on a high. But yeah, overall, it's not a good look for Frank, just based on their recent form. He's another one. If he was fired today, he couldn't really have any complaints. If it was me looking at their fixtures for February, I would wait until their run against Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle, Man City is over, and then make a decision, because I don't really think you want a new manager taking on those 4 games as your new as a new manager and your first 4 games. And I know your stance on managers. If it's not going right, you should.
But just don't wait. I don't know why
etc.
people wait until it's the end. The signs are there, and I think it goes both ways. I think he goes through that, comes out the other side, the way you might expect him to, based on the first 23 games.
Yeah.
Just take action now.
But would you want your new manager coming in, having possibly the same results that Frank might have, and they start with 4 defeats or 3 defeats and a draw? That just doesn't look good for the board, the fans.
But if it was what I was going to have anyway, let me start with a new manager.
Yeah, that is what they're going to like. If I'm a Spurs fan, my expectations for those 4 games, 2 points from 12.
Yeah.
Really?
But would you be happy with that if that was your new manager?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
But it
So
depends
you'd
on
rather Frank have it than your new manager.
It also depends how the team plays, and also you got we can have a very good guess as to how that team will perform. We don't know. We're on the new manager. We don't know his new ideas or what he's going to do, and it depends on who it is, right? I just again, it just goes back to this thing of there's no point saying, if he gets through those games, bro. We've got 23 games. We know the swing. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, the counter argument for Thomas Frank is he's not had the Solankis. He's not had Kulusevski for most of the season. He's not had Madison.
Yeah.
And you would argue some of the signings they've made are not of the same level, right? Whatever reputation Simons has came with before, it hasn't manifested to that, right? And we've seen it many times. People come from the German league. The Premier League is a tough thing to adapt. Tell hasn't really hit the ground running. Richarlison, we know what we're getting. He's been there long enough. So he may argue, I've not had my best players at my disposal as well. But I also think he should have done better with what he's got, right? He's got a decent centre-back pairing. I would say Van der Ven is probably the next best centre-back after the top tier guys in the league, right? After your Salibas, your Gabriels, your VVDs on a good day, etc. There's an argument that Van der Ven will be looked at and say, yeah, he's the next level down. If he's ready to leave Spurs, some top teams would pick up the phone.
Yeah, I think given you take away those 3 attacking players, or probably 3 starters.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then you replace them with 3 new signings that are new to the league. He's probably performing where you kind of expect, right? I know they're close to the bottom of the league, but we said this off camera earlier. They're 8 points from the bottom and 8 points from Champions League. They're treading water.
True. But I think it's how they're treading water. And the recent results that don't help.
But
and the style of football.
They're top 8 in the Champions League.
True. And this comes back to what people are seeing. It comes back, you talked about this with West Ham fans, right? It's the type of football as well.
Yeah.
They don't like it. If he was having the same performance, but they were moving to teams and it was exciting, it's funny how football fans work.
Yeah.
But I think, I was an advocate of Frank going there, but I do think that he's not doing as well as he should be doing with those players. And I think maybe his style of football, although his approach to the game, just isn't conducive to, that team, Spurs and the type of teams, their fans expect them to to have the ball, to push with the ball, to dictate the game, etc. This is not Brentford where you can have the minority of possession, kill teams in a break, or surprise teams, and everyone's happy with that. So that's the difference in expectation, you know.
Yeah,
so
there's that narrative of small club mentality that he's come there with, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. And I think I don't think it's small club mentality. I just think that he just has a certain way of playing that isn't conducive to when you're the bigger club that's expected to take control. You know, talk about Graham Potter kind of moving from small club to big club as well. But again, people thought his brand of football was progressive, etc. So with better players, he was going to do great things. Hasn't transpired. He's had 2 jobs since Brighton now. So yeah, you know, we'll see. It's not a great advert for that, to be honest.
They should have got Vincent Company.
Well, we know what he's like. And he stuck to his guns massively, didn't he? And got a job at Bayern Munich. So who am I to criticize? Burnley are still
gone.
Yeah, that's it, man. 15 points. There's no way back for them. They'd have to do absolute nonsense to get back in. And then that result leaves Spurs 14th, 28 points, level with Palace. You know, after that spin the way they are, that's not where they wanted to be. And they're 2 points behind Bournemouth now after their win. At Liverpool, well, at home against Liverpool. Moving on, I think let's talk to Manchester City versus Wolves. That game was such a formality. Most of the talk I heard after was about Haaland not starting. I'm like, hold on, the team's won 2-0 here. Why is all the talk about him not actually starting? They spent a lot of money. Earlier in the week, I'm hearing about how much money they spent. And then on the weekend, everyone's talking about the player that didn't start. Well, they spent all that money so they could rotate.
Yeah. Most of the complaints are from FPL players and their triple captains and
yes, of course.
and that jazz. But I wasn't too surprised just because of he hadn't scored in his last 8 or 9 games. He looked quite fatigued in the games that he has played. And if you're resting your top goal scorer, you want to do it against Wolves.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
The team that are
Wolves,
bottom of the league.
Yeah.
Obviously, they went out to the Arctic Circle on Tuesday, I believe it was. Didn't get a good result. He was moving gingerly then. I think it's just a rest. And like I said, it's a game you could afford to rest him. So I shouldn't read too much into it. I'm still surprised they don't have a like-for-like number 9 replacement for him. But when you're Pep, you can find a way to not have a like-for-like for Haaland.
Yeah, and they did have a number 9 for years. He's not going to have 2 now. Right, they've won leagues without number 9s, and Haaland's a unicorn on his own, right? So,
100%.
So you don't bring someone there to sit on the bench behind him. So yeah, they've got enough firepower there, and his approach is all those guys up front should have enough quality of execution that they create chances, they score goals. He's very critical of that, right? So
unless you're an up and coming, super talented youngster going to play at City as a centre forward, like why would you do that?
Exactly. You saw Alvarez leave for that very reason. Why the hell are you going there?
Yeah, it's telling enough that Haaland starts against Exeter. If you're the backup, right? You're like, hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
This is Exeter.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my time to shine.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. I think the other talking point was Gay's debut. Looked very assured. Obviously, he's been playing at Palace, but again, now you're at City. But looked like he'd been there a long time. That's a really good signing for them, man. Best defensive signing for a while, I would say. Since Vardio.
Does he start when everybody's fit?
100%. Him and Diaz. It's him and Diaz centre back.
Yeah,
Vardio's going back to left back. Watch. Do you remember when he had all these guys fit? That's what Vardio was doing.
He was playing 4 centre backs across the back line.
Yeah. Watch. He's going to go back to that. I'm sure. Yeah.
So Semenyo cooking as well. 3 goals, 4 games.
Nice finish.
Likely.
Yeah. I think he showed why they wanted him. You know, efficient. That's the way I would describe him. Efficient. And I think he's slightly the opposite to the criticism I had of Eze before that. Eze comes alive and then he'll score a goal or do something great and then he's quiet. I think Semenyo is the opposite. right? And these guys, the Peps, etc., without the ball, they want you to be super active and do well
Yeah.
and be involved in a lot of the build-up. And I think he does that. And then when he gets an opportunity, he doesn't mess around. We saw it at Bournemouth. He gets sight of goal, he's letting off, or he's creating some space and he's letting off. So I think that epitomized what they like about him. But he's not a bad start to your City career, is it?
Not at all.
He's not been blinded by the lights, is he? He's
Yeah,
not been
and it's good
blinded by
to
the
see,
lights at
man.
all.
Like his rise has been quite rapid from
Bristol City in 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, Bristol City. He was playing against PK Humble in non-league.
Yeah,
Not too long ago. Now you're scoring.
Now you're getting the PJ to go sign your contract. Yeah. No, I love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. So yeah, City keep the pressure on Arsenal, as we always knew that they would do. And I think we'll just quickly touch on West Ham United 3-1 Sunderland. Lots of betting slips got messed up there. No one thought Sunderland were going there to hold 3. But is it West Ham needed that win, man? If they got any chance of escaping their current predicament, they needed that win.
It's going to be a tight end of the season for relegation between them and Forest.
Yeah, I agree. 2 wins on the bounce for them. Forest are 5 points ahead. Win today has helped them a lot. Beating Brentford again, another surprise. Beating Brentford away, but 2 wins on the bounce. Just look after yourself, get your points. And you never know what can happen, right?
Yeah, put pressure on the teams around you.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, I think it doesn't help them that the teams below them are basically done, though. Doesn't help them that Burnley and Wolves are basically done. They're almost to your point, in the scrap with Forest, and that's it.
Yeah, but then Forest have got
Leeds.
Forest have got not conference, the other one, Europa League.
Yeah, true. True.
Oh, yeah, to contend
Yeah,
with.
but you can deprioritize that, man.
True.
Yeah,
Would you?
Yes. Staying in the Prem, like what the Europa League prize money is, what, 7 million euros or something, or 8 million euros.
No, the prize is Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So as a Forest fan,
Champions League, and I'm in the Championship. I can't keep my best players. What am I going to do in the Champions League next season,
brother? With that owner.
Oh yeah,
anything's
possible. Yeah, that's true. It's true.
What he did with the
Marinakis. Yeah,
it's a tough one. If I could ask a Forest fan, would you rather stay in the Prem or win the Europa League and get relegated, but be in the Champions League? Bruv, I'll show you UEFA would have to change some rules or just
someone else did that.
Like,
someone else did that. Wasn't someone in Europe in the? Or there was a possibility.
No, Wigan won the FA Cup, but
Yeah.
they weren't in the Champions League. They were in Europa League. So it's easy to manipulate fixtures, isn't it?
Me as a fan, stay in the Prem, bro. Let's just stay in the Prem.
Yeah.
Me personally, stay in the Prem. So you
know.
wouldn't mind your team get relegated?
Forest have been in the Championship, so it's not like they're not used to it.
Hold on. Remember, we talk about this all the time. Isn't the Champions like 46 games or something?
Yeah.
So they're gonna do 46 games and a Champions League.
But it's the Champions League though.
You're not coming back up.
And you're getting 2 prime Champions League fixtures. So you're getting PSG at City Ground.
You're not coming back up that season. Well, you're not coming back automatically that season. I'm sorry, it's too much.
The money they get, they get the parachute money, and then that big Champions League lump sum TV money, they can be paying brothers.
Yeah,
I don't think it's clean cut as what you think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's risky. I think it's risky. I think it's risky. Like, you get relegated, Elliot Anderson's off. Champions League or no Champions League, he's off because they're Champions League clubs, and these guys these days, they've got all these clauses. If we get relegated, I can do this, I can do that. Yeah, you're losing a lot of players, but I take your point now. Yeah, it's not as dire as it seemed initially.
I think there's only 3 players you would say have to go: Gibbs White, Anderson, maybe Aina.
And they're all the reasons why you might come back up.
Hang in the Championship first. Cho can hang in the Championship for a year if you play Champions League as well.
If I'm him, I'm not doing that. It's my second chance. I'm not coming out of the Premier League. You're crazy.
Again, I don't even know if them man would just say, it's clean cut, we'll leave.
Yeah.
Because
I think Anderson and Gibbs White. Iana might be like, all right. But Gibbs White and Anderson,
yeah, but it's not like there's a big tournament that your England place is on the line the next year. It's the year after. Is the Euros.
But as we've seen with Gay now, bro, when these top clubs come calling, you got to take your chance. You miss your boat, there'll be someone else.
Good question.
If I'm Anderson, one of these guys come for me. If I'm not going, I bet you they're going for Wharton. That's the phone call those guys are making. So I hear what you're saying though. With the money, especially with that chairman, he would do something. We would see mad players in the championship.
Yeah.
Like he go get Neves from Saudi and say, come play championship for a season in the Champions League.
Wolves done it. I'm sure Wolves were playing in Europe and they were in.
No, it was Wigan.
Was it Wigan?
Yeah, when they
Wigan.
won the FA Cup.
Yeah. When they won the FA Cup against City.
Yeah.
They
went down.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Quick roundup elsewhere. Fulham 2, Brighton Hove Albion 1. Harry Wilson coming up with the goods again. He's doing the Rashford. New contract needed. So he's putting on the burners. I think the problem he's got is apparently Oscar Bob's heading down there. So do you need Wilson and Oscar Bob? Oscar Bob's going to cost them 30 or 40 million. He's 22 or something. If that.
Yeah, relatively young.
Yeah. So
he'll be on a big salary.
Yeah. Wilson's 29. It's his last big deal. Maybe it's even better for him. He leaves on a free and go gets a pay packet somewhere. I don't know where he lands though. Everton. Not a bad shout for him.
Yeah, but not bad.
A Liverpool player going there.
He weren't really Liverpool.
He was,
Came through the academy.
But,
but he's
you
not
lot,
really
you lot dashed me.
He played once.
Yeah,
played once.
you lot dashed me. Keep
Go Spurs, man.
Nah, man. Keep your loyalties. You didn't need me, did
Go
you?
Spurs or West
Loyalties. Brentford losing to Nottingham Forest at home, 2-0. Crystal Palace, Walton, I talked about getting sent off, losing 3-1 to Chelsea. Rossini's decent start continues. Aston Villa, marching on. I know I called Emery a bottler, but he's not bottling anything at the moment. Beat Newcastle away 2-0. And yeah, Arsenal are currently losing 2-1 to Manchester United at home. Arteta, when I speak, people will say I'm biased. When I speak, do not lose to these men today. Apparently, he's done 4 subs. How many subs is that? He did 4 subs before 60th minute. Ooh. So yeah, he's on it. He's actually on it. Let me have a quick look at this. 58th minute. 1, 2, 3, 4 subs.
At once.
Jeez. Took off Nkapie, brought on Ben White. Took off Jesus, brought on Gokares. Took off Odegaard, his son. Brought on Marino and took off Zubimeni and brought on Eze.
Interesting.
That tells you we're not playing very well. And Buemo's just come off and he's brought on Cunha.
It's the depth, man.
Yeah, you can do that,
depth,
right? Yeah, so let's see. 21 minutes to go. All right, we'll be back next week. Ravi, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah,
we'll be back soon. I'm sure. And yeah, we'll see you later. Peace.
Later.